All Saints' Day, All Hallowmas, Samhain, All Hallows Eve, or, most popular, Halloween. The day is upon us, the season is around us. Stay with us for this simple sessions. We will talk about Halloween, how it started, some traditions, some of the favorite candies, share a story or two. Who knows, we might just visit Hefe's House of Horrors once again. But we are definitely all ending with jokes with Hefe. Stay tuned for this special Simple Times, Simple Sessions episode of Halloween. So, Andrew.
Yes, Marcelo, we're back at Beach House Studios for a Simple Sessions.
Yes, we are. For a Halloween Simple Sessions.
Yeah, and who of us knows the least of Halloween?
You mean which one of the Halloweenies?
Which one of the Halloweenies is the least versed in Halloween than me?
Mr. Grew Up Christian, Mr. Grew Up Sheltered Christian.
Yeah, I grew up sheltered from all that stuff because of the ties to, creepy and witchcraft and
then I think
of that.
Then I think that this episode will really benefit you because you'll kind of see that it didn't always start out with the thought and theories of it being devilish and all that stuff. First off, one of the names, in fact, actually all the names that I said in the intro, All Saints' Day, All Hallowmas, Samhain, All Hallows Eve, those are actually all variations of the name. All Saints' Day was actually one of the very first ones. Actually, that was one of the first ones made by the Christians to try to get away from Halloween. Actually one of the original names was Samhain, which you may have actually heard just mispronounced, called Samhain. Samhain? Wow. No, never heard of Samhain?
No, when you said Samhain, I thought we were trying to say what?
So Samhain is actually the Celtic name. Because the Celtics, or at least when it comes to the holiday, it dates as far back, at least as far as on record, to the Celtics. It was a festival, and it looks like it says Samhain. It's spelled Samhain, but in the Celtic or the Gaelic language, it's Samhain. It was just it was a festival just to kind of welcome the harvest, to basically say, hey, summer's ended. Here comes, the cold. Here comes the winter. And the big thing for the harvest was they would grow all the crops during the summer and then cut them down because essentially snow was going to get too cold to grow anything. So they brought everything in.
Right.
But
I get all the harvesty stuff because that's still a tradition here in the States. Is during this time everyone puts out their harvest decorations, right. Like fall leaves and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I understand the harvest part of the history of that because we go through the seasons and things change and things die and then
Yeah, so Pope Gregory III was actually one of the first ones to designate November 1st as All Saints' Day.
All Saints' Day.
And then soon after that, they started incorporating a lot of the traditions from Samhain. and then that's when they started calling the day before All Hallows Eve, and then of course later Halloween and all that stuff. But like speaking of Pope Gregory and all that stuff, it's Christian groups throughout the years have actually routinely attempted to demonize it, much like how we were talking about how prior to Christians basically getting hold of it, it was like the tradition of the harvest, and they were trying to denigrate the observance in part by repeating the erroneous claim that Samhain was a Celtic god of the dead and Halloween was his feast. But the error comes from the 18th century British engineer Charles Vallancey, who wrote on the Samhain festival with a poor understanding of the culture and language, of the whole Celtic and Gaelic thing, and has been repeated uncritically since. It was actually the church itself which preserved the Samhain tradition in the West by Christianizing it in the 9th century, setting the course for a pagan Northern European religious tradition transformation into a worldwide secular holiday, which has become the most popular and commercially lucrative, second only to Christmas. So Samhain, like I said, Samhain actually is still well known as Samhain, throughout the UK and all that. So they do call it Halloween. They do go with the modern times, but there are a lot of groups over there that still do Samhain, and that or is it Samhain? It's one of those pronunciations.
Okay.
But I think Samhain is the more popular, I think, of the pronunciations.
That's okay. I don't think any scholars are going to be going after you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they really listen to these, anyways. But it's actually there's actually very little rituals that are known of the original Samhain because of the church. Even though it did preserve a lot of them, it just kind of picked and choose which ones they liked and which ones they didn't, and then preached on the ones that they did. So they did preserve the idea of the harvest, which is why I believe there's harvest festivals right around now and all that.
Right. Growing up, sheltered from the Halloween and the evilness aspects of it. Yeah, they would, churches growing up would tend to call it harvest festivals instead of Halloween festivals, but essentially very similar. They'd have like carnival games and things like that, fun houses, whatever.
So and essentially what the church was getting rid of was the pagan ideas,
right?
And kind of making it seem like the pagans were these demonic cults and all that, and evil, or that's all they worship is evil.
Because the religious groups, they would consider pagan as earth worshippers, or
and
worshiping spirits of the crops and stuff like that.
And that's kind of what pagans really, what paganism really was. It was just, it wasn't worshiping I guess you can say invisible deities and I don't want to say made up deities, but how they would oh yeah, Jesus. I do believe that there was a Jesus man, but to sit here and put on the idea that he's a son of God and all the other kind of stuff, I think is kind of where it kind of shows the two differences, is where the Christians and churches will worship a man, or essentially a man. The pagans were worshiping the earth. They were worshiping the woods. They were worshiping kind of like the elementals, like elements, things that they could actually see
touch, tangible things.
Exactly. When they would they worship let's say the wheat fields. Well, the reason they're worshiping the wheat fields, I don't even know if they worship the wheat field, and use that as an example, it was because they could see the wheat growing, and then once it gets to fully grown to where it needs to be harvested, they can then see all the uses that they have for wheat. So that was kind of the things that they would worship, other than a guy.
Right. I understand the distinction there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. One of the things that I can think the Christians were kind of really hesitant on when it came to the celebration was that the pagans believed that during the harvest, departed loved ones were expected and welcomed, and the practice of setting out favorite foods for the dead may have, it originated as early as 2,000 years ago. But many other kinds of spirits, some of which never had human form, could also appear, like elves, fairies, and the wee folk is what they would call it. And dark energies were just as likely to pay a visit as one longed to see again one last time. So I get them trying to kind of be safe, I guess you could say, quote unquote safe.
Right.
But
that's interesting because you see that a lot in like Latin American cultures.
Yeah.
Is that they do the Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
Where they pay respects, homage, kind of remember their loved ones that have passed.
Right.
And that's an interesting idea in and of itself. Were you going to touch on that later on?
Yeah. Actually, I was. Yeah.
In that case, I'll hold off.
We can actually jump right into how the world kind of talks about their different variations of like the Halloween idea,
the different celebrations of Halloween. Right.
So like as you were just talking of Dia de los Muertos, it's more popular in Mexico. El Dia de los Muertos falls between October 31st to November 2nd, when families can briefly be reunited with the souls of their deceased relatives. It is believed that on the Day of the Dead, the border between the spirits and the living dissolve, allowing time for families to eat, drink, and dance with their loved ones. Families leave favorite foods and other offerings at grave sites or on ofrendas built in their homes, which may be decorated with candles and bright marigolds. However, but then you go look at Ireland and Scotland, which is how we talked about, where they celebrate Samhain. The Gaelic festival marking the end of the harvest season, beginning of winter. Samhain, I'm going to say it a couple different ways, just kind of as I
cover all your bases.
As I read it, I may not think of how to pronouncing it the correct way or anything.
So when that one listener wants to send us a message and be like, "Hey, you're saying it wrong,"
the complaints,
what about the times I said it right?
Yeah, right, exactly. But the Samhain celebrations begin the evening of October 31st and last through November 1st. Similar to the Day of the Dead, it is believed that during this time the spirit world and the living are able to intermingle. Samhain was first mentioned in the early Irish literature dating back to the 9th century, where it was said that the celebration was marked by gatherings involving open burial mounds, which were considered to be portals to the spirit world. Japan kind of has a different kind of cool, fun way to do it. They do Halloween trains. It says, since Tokyo Disneyland first hosted its Halloween celebration in 2000, the holiday has grown in popularity across the country. Because trick-or-treating does not take place, most of the fun is left to the adults. Celebrated through street parties, parades, and home gatherings, citizens show off their creative skills through elaborate costumes. One of the more unexpected places of celebration? Trains. Typically a quiet place to catch a ride, but during Halloween, trains transform into places of celebration with unique themes. Think like zombies, vampires, and other spooky characters. And I know that trains are a big commodity over in Japan. If you want to get somewhere, you take a bullet train. They are known for their bullet trains. I think second to Germany. But I think that'd be pretty cool, though, and it is kind of a odd thing to think of that prior to the year 2000, Japan didn't celebrate, and I know that Japan has a very, very strict. I don't want to say quite religious, because I don't really know what the religions are, but I know that they did have a very, very strict cultural, traditional values. But yeah, I mean, just imagine that. But prior to year 2000. There wasn't really much celebration or talk about for Halloween until it was commercialized over there and became a unique thing. But I mean, imagine Halloween without trick or treaters. That'd be I mean,
That'd be boring.
I think as for kids, but I mean, if you look at it like as far as the adults go, I mean, it might be kind of fun. Kind of.
Oh, I see. Like you just do what you want at home, not worry about people ringing your doorbell.
Yeah, maybe. In Italy, it is Ognissanti.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, okay. Celebrated on November 1st, Ognissanti is how Italy celebrates All Saints' Day. Dating back to the 4th century AD, Ognissanti is the day for Italians to honor the martyrs and saints of the Catholic Church. The following day, November 2nd, is known as Giorno dei Morti, or Day of the Dead. Although this is primarily a time to be with family and attend Mass, each religion has its own rituals and tradition. In Sicily, it's believed that the dead bring sweets or small gifts to well-behaved children. And in the Lombardy region, it's customary to leave a vase full of water in the kitchen for the dead to drink when they visit during the night. So it's almost like a Christmas thing. You leave gifts out, or you leave like a milk and cookies out for Santa. Mm-hmm. They're leaving like water out for the dead, and in return, they're bringing sweets. So it's kind of like almost like a cross between like
Tooth Fairy almost. Where
yeah.
Here's a tooth, put it in the pillow, and
you get $1.
You get something.
In Guatemala, Festival de Barriletes Gigantes.
Sounds pretty giant.
Okay, yeah. A colorful celebration. Guatemala's festival is held at the beginning of November to honor All Saints' Day and the Day of the Dead. Vibrant handmade kites soar over the cemeteries of Santiago. I have no idea how to pronounce the rest of that. But it's the cemeteries of two of their cities. It looks like it's a very tribal native name. So I really Zacatepeques and Sampango.
Hey,
all right.
I think you're doing a fantastic job.
Alrighty. The kite flying practice, a 3,000-year-old tradition, was believed to be a way to communicate with the deceased. The kites are works of art constructed of paper, cloth patches, and bamboo, representing the symbols of their ancestry and contemporary social issues.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Just
flying.
Just got 2 more countries. There's a bunch more, but these are just kind of the first few. Philippines is Panguangalua.
Hey, you're getting better and better.
I'm sure, why not? It's a Filipino practice for honoring souls that have passed. On the evening of All Saints' Day, November 1st, I'm starting to kind of see that, November 1st seems to be the day for everybody.
Yeah, which, so happens to be the day right after Halloween.
Yeah.
So November 1st, All Saints' Day. So I can see how it all relates.
Right. Children dress up in a white sheet to look like ghosts or souls stuck in purgatory and knock on doors and sing and ask for prayers. Sometimes the children receive treats.
Now I'm trying to wonder, is that where the white sheet ghost
maybe
originates from?
Maybe. I mean, it could have been, something that Hollywood stole, because I think the white sheets may have kind of been like a Halloween. Not a Halloween, a Hollywood. To kind of show a ghost, you throw a sheet over and make it in the background. I don't know, but maybe the Philippines is the first ones. I don't know.
My goal is so one day for Halloween, just get a white sheet, cut a couple holes in them, and just go.
I don't think that'll fly in today's society.
I know what you're alluding to. But
a white sheet with holes cut in. I mean, you're gonna have to be very, very careful on how you wear it.
Everybody knows that's the Halloween ghost. Like in Charlie Brown, there was a kid or a character that would wear the white sheet because that's universally a ghost.
Didn't Charlie Brown wear the sheet?
It was either Charlie Brown or...
I'll be honest, I never saw it.
Oh, the Great Pumpkin?
I never saw a Great Pumpkin.
Dude.
I'll be completely honest.
Dude.
The Peanuts gang and all that stuff kind of bored me. I mean, some of the stuff was funny, like the Bread Baron whole thing. I thought that was pretty funny. The whole him trying to kick a field goal, that was, whatever. But yeah, as far as the movies go, especially like Great Pumpkin and stuff, it just... I don't think it really aged well. I don't think it's... I mean, I see it being perfect for you because of the way you kind of grew up. It was, kind of fell right in there. Yeah, exactly. But
safe. No, I get it. But there are some scenes in The Great Pumpkin.
That scared you?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, they're pretty well executed, as in trying to be funny.
Okay.
So you should try to watch it at least once in your life.
Okay, we'll see. But in Costa Rica, on October 31st is when they celebrate their festival. Participants wear large, colorful, handmade masks and dance through the streets to folk music, a 200-year-old tradition traced back to pre-Columbian customs and Carnival. The most significant parades occur in Cartago, Escazú, and Barva de Heredia, well-known cities for their mask-making skills. These aren't your typical masks, but rather intricate, oversized papier-mâché heads representing characters from pop culture, mythology, and political figures. The Cimarron Band's music played during the parade is one of Costa Rica's oldest traditions. So those are some of the traditions from around the world.
Fascinating.
You can kind of see that it's really different. Where it's like most countries seem to kind of take it as like a very happy kind of thing, where it's like
a festive, fun,
right? But it's like here,
have a good time.
But it's like here in the U.S., it's like we take over like the darker side of it.
It seems like here in the United States, we tend to focus more on the scaring you factor. Like Halloween is to scare you, creep you. The horror and the stuff like that. It seems like that's a big thing here in the U.S. We want to scare the bejesus out of you.
And one of the great ways to get the bejesus scared out of you, and it's a place that I want to go to, and it's a place that I know a lot of people want to go to and visit, Salem, Massachusetts.
Ooh.
Salem, Massachusetts is the actual site that you can find all kinds of proof for that the Salem witch trials were at. Now, Salem has revolved around that idea, and every year they have, I know during Christmas, they, instead of having a Christmas parade, I think they might also have that, they have a Krampus parade. But during Halloween, or during the Halloween season, the parade that they have is like a demon parade, basically. You could get into like all the old like Celtic, like Samhain kind of tradition, like those kind of spirits and the goblins that you could think of, and they parade through the streets. I'll have to show you some pictures and send you some videos. It is some great makeup, like Hollywood movie quality makeup that a lot of people do, and the streets pack out for these parades. Like it's insane. It's really, really insane.
Sounds like an event you wouldn't want to miss over there.
Oh yeah, it really looks intense. I think though there's maybe one more place that I think we can travel to. I think last time we did Simple Sessions, you happened to stumble upon this on your own. You disappeared for a while last time. And I thought maybe if we go to that dark place again, we can maybe revisit a certain house.
Oh no! Are you talking about what I think you're talking about?
I mean, it is weird that there's a door that just appeared behind you. Maybe you should brave and go through it, possibly.
All right. Well, I guess I gotta broaden my horizons and just try to experience what's out there in the world. So I think it's time that we go visit Efe's House of Horrors.
Andrew, is it?
Yes?
Glad to see you back so soon.
Who are you?
I am the caretaker here at Jefe's House of Horrors.
Okay, don't scare me too much.
Please have a seat while I tell you some tales of Halloween.
Oh, not fairy tales.
The first one is the trick-or-treater who died after being given cyanide-laced candy. In 1974, 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien died on Halloween evening after eating candy laced with cyanide. But the story has even more horrific twist. It turns out the candy was poisoned by Timmy's father, Ronald, who was in financial trouble and had taken out insurance policies on his children. In addition to Tommy, Ronald O'Brien gave poison candy to 4 other children, including his daughter Elizabeth. Thankfully, none of them ate it. O'Brien was executed by lethal injection in 1984. Our second tale.
Wait, I'm still trying to recover from that first one.
Well, maybe with this one you could hang around for the suicide mistaken for a Halloween decoration. In 2005, a 42-year-old woman in Delaware committed suicide by hanging herself from a tree across the street of a residential area. Though the body was easily visible to passerby and passing vehicles, no one called the police for hours. Why, you might ask? Well, they assumed the woman was swaying in the wind as a Halloween decoration.
Man, these better not be true stories.
They are.
Oh, hell no.
100% true.
No.
The man who showed up at a Halloween party dressed as Freddy Krueger went on a rampage. A Halloween party in San Antonio, Texas was in full force last year when a man dressed as Freddy Krueger showed up uninvited. He opened fire and shot 5 people. Our next story. The son who decapitated his mother and left her body in the streets.
Oh my.
One night in Long Island, just before Halloween 2014, a decapitated body laid in the street 5 feet away from a severed head. To many passerby, the horrific sight appeared to be a Halloween prank. But the truth was far more disturbing. 35-year-old Derek Ward had used a kitchen knife to kill and decapitate his mother, Patricia, then carried the body and head out of their apartment. After leaving the body and head in the street, Ward jumped in front of a commuter train, killing himself.
Get me the hell out of here.
Our next story.
No.
The assailant, who wearing the same mask as the killers wore in the film Scream, murdered a man. In Scream, killers wearing ghost face masks callously murdered the people in their town. Chillingly, on Halloween night 2013, someone wearing the same ghost face mask shot and killed 19-year-old Anthony Seabury before disappearing into the New York night. Our last and final tale
Can't do it.
in Jefe's House of Horrors
Can't do it.
is the man who opened his door to find a trick-or-treater who would end his life.
No.
In 1982, 69-year-old Marvin Bradland was getting ready for bed after a night of handing out Halloween candy, where there was one more knock at his door. Bradland opened the door to find someone wearing a pillowcase over their head with the holes cut out for eyes. The figure said, "Trick or treat, give me your money or I'll shoot." He then pulled out a gun and ordered Bradland into his basement, where Bradland kept a safe. Bradland, figuring this was a prank since only family members knew about the safe, grabbed for his gun. The person in the pillowcase fired, hitting Bradland in the throat, killing him. The killer fled, leaving the pillowcase at the scene. However, in 2010, the pillowcase was tested for DNA, but there wasn't enough DNA on it to make a match. You, Andrew, are now free to go, and you may leave Hefe's House of Horrors.
Oh my.
Why are you out of breath, dude?
Oh man.
Oh, come on. It couldn't have been that bad.
I just went into Hefe's House of Horrors. I just got bombarded with so many horrific stories.
Yeah, they're not that bad, I don't think.
Man. I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight.
Oh, well. Pretty good, I'm assuming.
I hope so, man.
Oh, well, I mean, while you're out, I mean, there were a lot of trick-or-treaters coming by, so.
What?
Yeah, you didn't hear them?
No.
Oh, that's weird. Well, I mean, speaking of trick-or-treaters,
yeah.
how about some candy? How about we talk about some candy?
Oh, hey, I love candy. Finally, something that I like.
So what would you say would be the top 10 best candies or most popular candies on Halloween?
If I had to guess which ones would make the list, it'd definitely have to be like Snickers, Reese's, Kit Kat.
Kit Kat is number 9.
No way! I thought it would have been higher because I just saw a commercial for Kit Kat versus Reese's.
Yeah, no, it's according to this one on CBS News. Via Instacart. So these are in the month leading up to last Halloween. So this is last Halloween. They track the top sellers by total weight sold, and these were the top 10. So they ranked Kit Kat at number 9.
Ooh.
Which other one did you say?
Reese's peanut butter cups.
Those are number 1.
Oh man, I'm not surprised.
No, yeah, I'm
those
not either.
My favorite.
Yeah, those are one of my favorites. Yeah. What were the other ones? What were some other ones? I think you said Snickers. Not in the top 10.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Snickers is good, but I can kind of. I mean, I shouldn't say people with a nut allergy, but then again, they shouldn't be eating peanut butter anyways. But yeah, I mean, it's good, but I definitely wouldn't say top 10.
I only assume Snickers because they have a pretty good marketing team behind them.
Yeah.
The hungry, why wait?
Yeah.
Or the person that changes into a different character.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, here, you're acting like a girl. Eat a Snickers.
Yeah.
I just would assume that they have good marketing, probably because they have a lot of sales.
Yeah.
But make those high-end commercials.
Well, I mean, not in the top 10.
All right.
I'm not seeing it really anywhere. Let's see. See if they're. Yeah, I mean, like they're even showing a map and the different states and all that stuff, and I don't see Snickers in any of the states as being like the most popular.
Wow, I guess they've lost their luster.
Maybe. They said that according to this, that they do still favor it. It's just not in the top 10. There are others that people favor more.
Gotcha.
So, do you want to take any more guesses? You got 2 of them. You got number 9 and got number 1. So you got
Oh, I'm trying to think what my kids come home with that's popular.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't think too hard about what's current. I just kind of look at what's a really good, legendary candy, I guess you could say.
Candy corn?
Oddly enough, at number 8. I do not know why. I think it is one of the most disgusting candies out there.
So candy corn beat Kit Kat?
By 1 spot, yeah.
Wow, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Circus Peanuts would have been on this list, I would have just completely just tossed it away. I really, really don't think that. I think candy corn, or
is the devil of the candy.
Or how my mom constantly makes fun of me because of the one time I said it when I was 5.
What'd you say?
Corn candy.
Oh,
yeah. And I still get haunted to this day about it. But yeah, I mean, candy corn I think is one of the most disgusting. I've known a lot of people. One of the grossest thing I've ever seen is people using candy corn in replacement of chocolate chips in chocolate chip cookies.
Ew.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good at
No,
all.
not. I mean, the whole thing does. Ugh. Okay.
The problem with candy corn is
Everything about it.
the bright colors. You would think that it's going to be something sweet,
Okay.
but it's
Waxy,
not. It's
nasty.
Just,
yeah.
it's waxy,
Ugh.
it's starchy. It's almost like if you try to make potato chips into candy or something.
Yeah.
Just,
It's
something's not right about it. It's not good.
No. So you got number 9, number 8, number 1. That's what you've gotten so far. You got the rest.
Well, give us the rest. I'm really curious.
So
now.
number 10 is Starburst.
Starburst, yeah.
Okay. Number
Those
9.
little 2-packers.
Those are good. Yeah. Number 9, Kit Kat. Number 8, Candy Corn. Number 7, Sour Patch Kids.
Hey, I love me some Sour Patch Kids.
Especially the watermelon.
Those are really good.
Yeah, those I could. Oh God, I can down so many bags of that.
When I take my 4-year-old to 7-Eleven,
Yeah.
she goes for the watermelons.
Yeah, they're a great movie theater candy too.
Oh yeah.
Number 6 is just regular Hershey's milk chocolate.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Hershey's.
No, even the dark chocolate is actually pretty good too.
It satisfies that need when you're craving chocolate.
Oh yeah,
Hershey's
and then I mean, of course, you got s'mores.
s'mores. Oh yeah,
You
to
know,
make your
yeah,
s'mores.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Number 5, this kind of it surprised me only because I've been seeing a lot of memes about how bad it is. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I wouldn't say it's the best. Twizzlers.
Twizzlers.
I am one of those that think Twizzlers is nowhere near Red Vines. That Red Vines are far more superior. I think the big thing about the Twizzlers when they first came out was that you could pull them apart.
That was the fun part about them.
Yeah, but I don't like somebody. Like I think I saw one where it was something like it was a meme of somebody posted, "Hit me up if you eat Twizzlers. I need you to bite somebody's tires for me."
Yeah, something about Twizzlers. Once you've had a Red Vine,
Yeah.
and then you try a Twizzlers, you're like, it's missing something. It's
Yes.
not as sweet.
It's almost like they use too much of like natural fruit in the Twizzlers, and Red Vines has more of like a sugary taste. So it's like I would look at Twizzlers as being more of like a fruit snack than a candy, whereas Red Vines is like the candy.
Twizzlers is the candy corn of licorice.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
However, my wife she swears she lives black licorice. She goes black licorice
she should
over Red Vine.
She should. Well, I've known a lot of people do that, but she needs to be careful because they say that eating a lot of black licorice can actually be very bad for your health.
Well, that makes me the healthiest person alive because
And
I hate it. Have you ever had Jelly Bellies?
Oh yeah,
And
I think
there's
those are really
always
good.
that black licorice one, and then you pop it in your mouth.
Isn't that on like the Bizarre Bot ones, or is that on in the regulars?
It possibly is, but every time I get a taste of that black licorice, because I thought it was like grape or something, I just want to kill myself. I want to get a shotgun, stick it in my mouth.
So then would I think that maybe one of these days on this podcast, we should play Bean Boozled.
Oh, I'm up for the game. I love games.
Yeah.
But man, that's going to be
I know.
intense.
It is. Yeah. Make sure we get our fucking spit buckets and puke buckets because I think that's going to be just, it's going to be terrible. So Twizzlers was number 5. Number 4, I could see it. Tootsie Pops.
Oh yeah.
I do really love me some good Tootsie Pops. Especially like the original 4, no, the original 3, it was like a cherry, chocolate, and orange.
Right. I remember in elementary school, those things were huge.
Yeah.
Do you remember the commercials? The owl?
Yeah. Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Well, let's find out. A 1, a 2, a 3, crunch, a 3. They still play them.
I know.
Number 3, regular M&Ms, the regular milk chocolate M&Ms, which I mean,
I like the peanut M&Ms.
well, then you would like number 2 on the list, which is peanut M&Ms.
Wow.
So for me, instead of putting regular M&Ms on here, I'd probably say either crispy M&Ms or
peanut butter.
Yeah, peanut butter M&Ms. Yeah, and then of course Reese's peanut butter cups number 1. Now, which would you say? Actually, first off, have you had the pretzel peanut butter cup?
No, I don't think I have.
It's just so as far as I've seen it, they just make it in like the big cups. You know, like how they came up with the big cups where it's like just one bigger cup. They made one bigger cup with pretzels in it, so it's like it's got a good like sweet salty, like almost like kettle corn kind of like mixture to it.
Now that you mentioned that, yeah, I could see that being a good combination.
Yeah,
the one that looked disgusting when I saw it was the potato chip big cup Reese's peanut butter cup.
Oh, I never saw that one.
Potato chip version of the Reese's peanut butter cup.
I mean, it probably can't be that much different than a pretzel, because I mean, when you eat the pretzel one, it doesn't really, you can't really taste the pretzels. It's like you can taste like the saltiness, and you can feel the crunch, but you can't you're not like tasting like a pretzel. So I think the peanut butter does a pretty good job of hiding that. So I wonder if that's kind of how the potato chip would be.
If you see it on the shelf one day, go for it.
I think I might
report back to me.
I think I
don't know. I don't think I see myself ever trying it.
I think I just might.
Appealing.
So, that's actually just about everything I have for the Halloween season this year.
I mean, that was excellent. I mean, very informative. I learned a lot, and you know what? Just out of curiosity, on our normal episodes, we have this segment that it's definitely my favorite. So,
I think I'm getting
what
what
I'm
you're
talking about.
I think I'm starting to understand what you're trying to say.
Do you think it's something we can bring to the simple sessions again?
I think so.
In that case, what are we waiting for? I think it's time for a special Halloween edition of Jokes with Happy.
Three guys run into a museum to hide from the horde of zombies coming down the road. While looking for something to eat and drink, one of the survivors finds a golden lamp, and out pops a genie roaring out, "You can have 3 wishes, so what is the first wish?" One man says, "I want to go back to my family before the zombie apocalypse, and I want it to never happen." The second man says, "That sounds great, I wish for that too." And poof, the 2 men were gone. The front door of the museum just broke in with the weight of all the zombies pushing on it. Now the museum is filling up fast with zombies. The genie asks the last man what he wishes for. He thinks about it quickly and says, "Man, I really wish my 2 friends were back here to help me fight off all these zombies."
You know, I kind of saw it coming. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I know.
But just picturing the scenario, picturing it, that cracks me up tremendously.
There's been a lot of iterations of that kind of joke.
Yeah, classic.
So
classic.
So, does that suffice for the jokes?
It suffices for me, but the real question is, does it suffice for our listeners? Why don't you send us off into the sunset with, I don't know, a few more. I mean, if you really think about it, the segment is called Jokes, plural.
That is true.
With Jefe. So.
Well, I mean, it just so happens I have, a list of some more quick little funny Halloween jokes.
Give it to us. We'll give it to us.
All right. Well, then if it's more jokes you want, it's more jokes you will have. What's a ghoul's favorite drink? Anything with booze. What are a monster's favorite pets? Creepy crawlies. What did people say when the headless horseman started dating a zombie? That he lost his head. What is a mummy's favorite sandwich? A head cheese wrap. What's in a ghost's nose? Boogers. What does a panda ghost eat? Bamboo. What do ghosts use to do their makeup? Vanishing creep. What do Italian ghosts have for dinner? A spaghetti. What did the mommy ghost say to the noisy ghost who kept interrupting? Spook when you're spooking to. What do ghosts wear when their eyesight gets blurry? Spookticles. Why do female ghosts go on a diet? So they can keep their ghoulish figure. Where does a ghost go on vacation? Malibu. Why do demons and ghouls hang out together? Because demons are a ghoul's best friend. Why are ghosts so bad at lying? Because you can see right through them. What do ghosts use to wash their hair? Shampoo. What's a monster's favorite show? Romeo and Juliet. What's a mummy's favorite way to relax? Solving cryptograms. What do you get when you put a spider in the ear of a corn? A cobweb. What do you call a spider with 20 eyes? A spider. The maker of this product does not want it, the buyer does not use it, and the user does not see it. What is it? A coffin. When is it bad luck to be followed by a black cat? When you're a mouse. What is a pause in a work at a mortuary called? A coffin break. What kind of monster loves to disco? The boogeyman. Why didn't a scarecrow eat dinner? He was already stuffed. Why was the jack-o'-lantern afraid to cross the road? He had no guts. What do you call a fat pumpkin? A plumpkin. Are any Halloween monsters good at math? No, unless you count Dracula. How do you fix a broken jack-o'-lantern? With a pumpkin patch. Why didn't the zombie go to school? He felt rotten. Why is a cemetery a great place to write a story? Because there are so many plots there. What genre of music does the mummy like the best? Rap. Where do ghosts like to travel on vacation? The Dead Sea.
All right, thank you for listening to the Simple Times podcast. This was a Simple Sessions. Make sure to find us on social media, Instagram, X, and Facebook. Make sure to subscribe and follow us to always stay up to date with our new episodes, content, and more.
And what is the handle in which they can find us at?
Just search it. I don't know.